Our next speaker is another grower. Our next speaker is Kelly Lewis from Ruppert Nursery. Kelly is the general manager, overseeing operations, large tree moving, and planning. Kelly started with Ruppert Nursery in 1994 and is a certified professional horticulturalist. And he holds a Texas A&M Certificate of Applied Business Management. Kelly is talking to us today about workforce development and other aspects that are popping up perennial throughout the conversations today about the need for educated folks to overcome a lot of the challenges or even show people that the challenges exist in the first place. So with that, Kelly, the floor is yours.
Okay, thanks very much. Let me share my screen here. Let's see here. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
I'm not seeing it yet. So
I'm not seeing it.
You go to share in the corner, and then it'll give you you have to choose either the whole computer screen or a window. And if you click a window, it'll let you pick. There you go.
Does that work?
Perfect.
Okay, great. Well, thanks very much for including me today. I appreciate it. I enjoyed the last presentation and hearing about the Florida standards. This is an industry that unfortunately focuses too much on size and price, and it's good to see the quality. So let me tell you a little bit about Ruppert Nurseries. First, we're a 900-acre tree farm, and we specialize in larger, high-quality trees. We grow a mix of, let's see if I can get my slide to advance here.
You can use the arrow keys as well.
There we go. Yep. There we go. We grow a mix of bread and butter, shade, ornamental, and evergreen trees. We do a good number of natives. You can see the pawpaw here. I heard that mentioned earlier, one of my favorites. We also do, like I mentioned earlier, large trees. We will hand dig trees that are bigger than about 10 or 11 inch caliber, slide of some catalpas, which I also heard mentioned earlier. We mechanically dig up to about 30 feet on evergreens and 10 or 11 inch caliber on deciduous. We also do a lot of specialty pruning, pleaching, espaliers, boxing trees, and that sort of thing. We do, because we are so close to Washington, D.C., we're fortunate to be within the Maryland Ag Reserve, which is about 90,000 acres within 30 or 40 minutes of Washington, D.C., that was put aside into agriculture. So it allows us to have a large tree farm very close to the city. And we take advantage of that and do some big tree installation, big tree moving. We kind of specialize in difficult sites. The top right corners, we did a large planting at the Flight 93 Memorial. We do a lot of hand digging. You can see the big hand dug tree going in by the Capitol there. I wanted to, I was asked to talk about workforce development and how we get, keep and train good staff. One thing for sure, growing quality trees takes a skilled labor force and a lot of hard work. And so I'm going to kind of break some of my talk down between things we do culturally as a company and then kind of the nuts and bolts of it. The first thing I always bring up is safety from a cultural standpoint. We really focus on safety. This is a slide of one of our morning tailgates. It must have been cold outside because we're inside the shop instead of around the car. But we really focus on safety. The obvious benefits, we want everybody to go home safe at night. And that's very important to us. But I think it also demonstrates to staff that, we are more concerned about safety than we are getting the extra tree on the truck or whatever the case may be. So that's one of the main cultural things that we look at as a company. We're also a totally open book company. I'm sorry, I'm a slide ahead of myself here. We think it's really important for everybody to understand the mission and for everybody to be empowered to solve problems and to make decisions. So we post our mission both in English and Spanish, in visible places, and we refer to it often, so that everybody knows, what we're all about as a company. We are also, as I started to mention, an open book company. We, like people have mentioned earlier today, we are in this business for profit. We need to be profitable in order to stay around, and we treat our financial reports as kind of the way we keep score in the game here. So it's important for everybody to understand that. So we are totally open book at all levels, all the way down the line. We post and share all of our financial results, our sales, and we think that's an important part so that people understand what the score of the game is. One of the other things that's important to us as a company, and a way that we think helps make our staff satisfied, is to be involved with the community. Whenever we do any type of community projects, the easy thing I think is just to write a check to places, and we do some of that as well. But what we really like to do is involve everybody at all levels and get out in the community and do a planting. It doubles as some training, and we get everybody involved all the way down the line. And it's a really great way to make everybody feel part of the team and part of the community. We really appreciate when people stick around for a long time, and we acknowledge that with years of service coins. So each year that you're there, you get a coin that talks to how many years you've been there. We try to involve everybody, so the supervisors give out the coins to their crew. So you can see in the top right-hand corner there, it's one of our field supervisors giving out a coin. It comes with a little letter. The supervisor gets an opportunity to speak to the group about what makes this person a great employee, and why we're happy to have them. We also do a lot of appreciation events. I think that it's important to show the group that we do notice and appreciate all the hard work in the field. All of us in the office are really there to support the folks in the field. So we do a lot of appreciation events. This is a photo of some Christmas party shots. Down in the bottom left corner, we brought in an omelet chef to make breakfast for the guys. We usually accompany this with a financial update, so we do this usually on a quarterly basis. Team building, again, is always a fun thing and an important thing. Here's some shots of us on a raft trip. A lot of our guys were certainly not used to hopping on whitewater rafting trips, and again, it was a really great team building thing. Some photos from one of our retirement parties. We do try to keep folks for a long time, and this was when one of our mechanics retired, had been with us for about 15 years. We bring the family in, and gives us a chance to really thank them for the sacrifices they make, and for the sacrifices he made, and just good overall morale. We do a lot of team building things, and we try to always combine those when we can with some training. So even though we're growers, we know that most of our customers are landscapers and planting, and so we try to get all of our crew on that page as well. So this is at our office, where we are doing a little landscaping project with the whole team out there. We try to bring everybody from the office out and get everybody together, and everybody joins in that effort. Training is huge for us. It's so difficult to get good folks, and then once you get them, to keep them. One thing about our crew, everybody is hired full-time, 12 months a year. We don't have any seasonal employees. We don't have any part-time employees. Everybody that's there is full-time, 12 months a year, full benefits, good pay really in our area is just assumed. So good pay is a part of it. I think one thing about this business is everybody's different. Everybody has different factors, not only on how they grow trees, but how competitive their labor is. In the DC market, we're competing with the construction companies and the hotels and the restaurants and everybody else. So it's very competitive. So we know we have to pay well, and we certainly think it's important that everybody has the ability to work 12 months a year. Everybody has families, and that everybody has benefits, health insurance, vacation, continuing education, are all things that all employees and everybody on the staff have available to them. This is a training day when we're talking about the importance of getting a good package. After we grow a tree for anywhere from 12 to 20 years. We certainly don't want to mess it up by mishandling it when we harvest and ship it. So we're spending some time here with the field guys out making sure that everybody's doing a consistent and good package. And we've got the sales team out there. We've got, all the field managers so that everybody's kind of on the same page and everybody sees the challenges. Also in this bottom left-hand corner there, you see a tree. I've heard a lot of mention of girdling roots. This is a photo that we took out in one of the neighborhoods we were at. And we bring everybody in and talk about different topics. This one was for girdling. We had done it just prior to our liner planting. Here you can see on the left, we've got a bunch of bare root liners that just been received, and we're stressing the importance of taking a look at those root systems prior to putting them into the ground and looking for all the things that we can do to avoid these girdling roots in the future, nice straight roots and that sort of thing. So that's all part of the training process. And then the other photos there, we do a lot of classroom training in the wintertime. We're training both on the business and on the financial end of things and on management topics. And then we do a lot of field coaching. We always want to be kind of coaching every day. And so a lot of times it's just a quick meeting in the tailgate of a truck, and we're talking about, that particular project or that particular task for the day. So everybody wants to be good at their job, and I think management's responsibility is to provide that training so that everybody can walk away satisfied with the job well done at the end of the day. We do a lot of cross training. We're a small team. We farm 900 acres with 30 to 33 people typically. So that includes all of our office staff, our sales staff, our mechanics, and our folks in the field. So we're a relatively small team for managing a 70,000 tree inventory over a 900-acre field. So everybody needs to wear a lot of different hats. And so we do a lot of cross training. This young lady who's doing the welding on the left, she was one of our growing team. But in the wintertime, we had some shop work. We brought her in, and she learned to weld as good as anybody on staff, and seemed to really like it. It's hard to not see that big smile on her face. And then same thing on the right, that's our inventory manager and our controller. Back when the cicadas were hitting, we were busy getting out to some of our customers and netting their trees. And it was a great opportunity to do some cross training and get some people who are typically in the office, out of the office, out to some of the job sites. So I think the willingness and the ability to cross train and get people to do different things is not only keeps the job interesting for them and makes the work more fun and more enjoyable, but for a small team like us is critically important that everybody can wear a lot of hats. I think it's really important to get out there and to make yourself visible as a company. We're kind of always recruiting, whether we're at a trade show, this was an ASLA show. And, we're just always looking for good folks, but we're also always wanting to position ourselves as a resource for landscape architects and municipalities and other places, so that they can pick up the phone and call us when they have a question about, what tree might work well somewhere or what we might have in stock. I think it's also important from our staffing standpoint that folks are proud of where they work, and they're willing to share what we've learned and what we do. So I think getting out there, being parts of state associations and other memberships are an important part of, retaining staff and attracting staff. We, like a lot of people in our industry, have a fair number of Latino workers. Out of our 33 people right now, we've got about 14 of them that are Latino. And we've, understand that there's some cultural differences between our Latino staff and our American staff. So we have some special programs to try to make sure that they are getting the same training. We provide everything in English and Spanish. We provide English classes. And this is a program where we have our Latino supervisors. It's a program we call Elevate, where they have a Latino teacher who understands our business and can kind of meld the two cultures together. And it's a several day process. And this is at one of our graduations with one of our key field supervisors. I think structure is really important for keeping and staff and letting them know what's going on. For one thing, it eliminates any confusion of through the chain of command of who you listen to and what you should be doing, and if you have questions, of who your supervisor is. But another important thing, I think everybody's always wants to know the path to advancement, and an org chart like this gives everybody a clear understanding of what the path is to the next step and the steps after that. So I think having organized structure is an important part of our process anyway. This is an industry that requires a lot of hard work and sometimes not great pay. The pay's getting better though, but sometimes not great pay. But I think it's our job to get out there with the young people and encourage them and explain to them what a great industry this is. To me, this is the ultimate green industry. We're growing trees and planting trees. I don't know anything that's much greener than that. So this is a couple of shots of some high school functions. Bottom left is a group that came out to the farm, and they took this picture. It's hard to see, but that's a big 30,000-pound root ball that we just craned onto a truck, which was exciting for all them. The picture on the right with one of our big tree spades is a high school Hort class field day where they were kind of a career day sort of thing. And then the two ladies up on the left there who were manning the booth at that show. Rachel in the green there was the spade truck driver. So she's a CDL driver. And, when she hops out of that big spade with, all those high school kids there, she certainly gets their attention. And I just think it's really important for our future to be, just spreading the good word about our industry to these high school groups and other young students. For us, we really try to get folks out to our farm. Again, I think we're always recruiting. We always want to do things that allow our employees and staff to be part of the educational process. So we host monthly farm tours. We do them the second Tuesday of every month from 1 to 3. We bring in some cold drinks and some snacks, and we always have different topics, seasonal topics, whether it be pruning or choosing good trees or insect and disease or specialty pruning, whatever it is. We just think it's really important to get folks out to the farm, and then we involve all the folks on our team that we can. We bring supervisors and field guys in and let them, be part of the exchange. And we usually get a mix of landscape architects and landscape contractors and people from public gardens and that sort of thing. So there's always a good dynamic between our staff and the landscape architects and the contractors. It's good to get everybody together. We do them once a month. We usually get about 15 to 20 people, and we just find it to be a great way to get our name out there and to let people know about what we're doing. And ultimately, that usually ends up to lead into a hire or two. We also think it's really important to get out and visit other nurseries and other farms. The bottom left corner there is one of our liner suppliers out in Oregon. They show mature trees, that they have well before we have them, so it gives us a chance to look at those and make some decisions. The rest of these shots are from Italy. We've traveled to Europe several times. They're always ahead of us a little bit, so we look for what they're doing and how they're doing it. And we feel like they're usually a little bit ahead of us. And it's a good opportunity to reward some of our staff to go on some great trips like that. And it's a very educational experience for everybody, and I think helps lead us in the right direction. This is my final slide, a little sunset on my talk here. This is over a radish field that we've got. We do a lot of cover cropping. We think it's really important to have a place where all of our staff is proud. Most of the people in this industry are concerned about the environment and concerned about being green. And so we try to do a really good job with being good stewards of the ground. We take good care of pollinators and wildflower beds and planting cover crops and doing all the things that we think will let our staff be proud of where they work. So that's what I've got. Basically, it's for us, we treat every hire like it's a marriage. It's got to work for both sides. And I think it's an overall philosophy of doing the right things and doing great training and having a lot of structure and having a lot of support for everybody on staff. And then I think it leads to not only finding good folks, but then hanging on to them. So that's what I've got. I'll be happy for the question period when it comes. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Kelly. Getting lots of emoji claps from the crowd. So, and I have my hand up. Why do I have the hand up? Anyways, it's down. So thank you very much for that. Looks like you do a lot of development. It's awesome. The trips, how do I get to go to Italy with you guys? Like that's
well, we worked that out.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you very much. We will have a question and answer session after our last session.